the audio is coming fine. Today we are going to continue our discussion of the Manusmriti. Last day we discussed the rules for someone leading a life of brahmacharya. Today we are going to start Atha Tritiyodhyaya, chapter 3, Samavartana, Vivaha and Panchamahayajnas. I hope to finish the entire chapter today. But today I also decided to read the exact meaning of every Sanskrit word that we are going to learn from here. Up till now what I was doing is just reading the basic Sanskrit shloka, English, and then going to the translation itself. But I thought let's read the separate meanings of every word as well, so that not only gives a very detailed explanation of how the translator went about giving the basic meaning, the complete meaning of the shloka, but also so the audio is coming on fine, I hope. But also it will give us a basic training in Sanskrit as well. It will keep clearing the overall ethos and concept of Sanskrit in our minds. ऐसे ही बहुत सारे संस्कृत टेक्स्ट का ट्रांसलेशन ऐसे पढ़ते 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 हमारा संस्कृत सीखना भी थोड़ा बहुत हो जाएगा. तो अथा तृतीयोध्याय चैप्टर 3 समावर्तना विवाह पंचमहायज्ञas. So the shloka is Shatrin Shadabdikam Charyam Guru Traivedikam Ratam Tadardhikam Padikam Va Grahanantikameva Va. Okay, Guru here is with the Guru. Charyam is practice. Traivedikam plus Vratam, which means the vows of the three Vedas. Okay. Traivedikam Vratam. Nice. Tat is that. Shatrin Shat plus Abdikam. It means for 36 years. Ardhikam, half. Pa or Padikam is 1/4. Pa or Eva is indeed. Grahana is acquire. Antikam is final. Harsh is saying how much of streams will be needed to complete the whole of Manusmriti. I don't know. This is chapter. This is episode 5 of live streams. So this much we have done. Okay. Abhi itna baki hai. So I guess another 7 to 8 live streams. I think at max. Okay. So the meaning of this first shloka of Atha Tritiyodhyaya is that the brahmachari shall study the three Vedic branches of knowledge, that is Jnana, Karma and Upasana, the main subjects of the four Vedas with the Guru, while living at his residence for 36, 18 years or 99 years, 36, 18 years or 9 years, all the three different time limits for different Vedas, or indeed until the study of the four Vedas is complete, while maintaining his vow of brahmacharya. Okay, next shloka is Vedana dhitya vedo va vedam vapi yathakramam avipluta brahmacharyo grihastha shamamavaset. Okay, Vedan, Vedo, Va, Vedam, the four Vedas, 3, 2 or 1. Adhyeta means, having studied, Adhyayan. Yathakramam means in due order, Yathakramam. Va means or, Api means even, Avipluta means without breaking. Brahmacharya is brahmacharya. Grihastha plus ashramam is of course the order of householders. Avasat is shall enter. Avasat. This means that the brahmachari, having studied the four Vedas, 3, 2 or even 1 Veda in due order, without breaking his vow of brahmacharya, shall enter the order of the householder, the grihasthashrama. Okay, so after you are done with the Vedas, you can become a grihastha. Harsh is asking, Abhi ye dekhu ya P Gurus pe ask Abhijit. I have sent an invitation to Abhijit and Mitra for an interview on Instagram. He hasn't responded so far, and I don't think he's going to respond. So I don't know how to access him. I've written down an entire questionnaire of very important questions that I want to ask him. A lot of them are very Bengal centric as well. So if you all can help out, hopefully let him know in some way that there's a guy called Indic Consciousness on Instagram who is contacting him for an interview. So my YouTube channel is College Street Kolkata. My Instagram channel is called Indic Consciousness. Okay. The next shloka is Tam pratitam svadharmena brahmada brahmadayaharam pitu sragvinam. Okay, never heard this word. Sragvinam talpa asina marhayat prathamam gava. Okay, so tam means that. Pratimam svadharmena is dedicated to his duty. Pratim, yeah. Brahmadayaharam is, this means have received his share of Vedic knowledge. Brahmadayaharam. Pitu is from his father. Ragninam is wearing a garland. Asinam plus talpa, seated on a cushion. Prathamam plus arhayat, this means shall first honor. Okay, gava is with a cow. This means that the brahmachari, who is appreciated for his strict adherence to the vows of performing his duty regarding the study of the Vedas, and having completed his study, that is, having received the legacy of the Veda from his father, the preceptor, seated on a couch, wearing a garland of flowers, shall be honored with the gift of a cow. Note that the gift of a cow, godana, also consists of offering madhuparka, that is, a cup of curd and honey. Then next shloka is Garuna numata natva samavritto yatha vidhi udvaheta dvijo bharyam savarnam lakshananvitam. This means that the Dvija Brahmachari, that is the Brahmana, the Kshatriya or the Vaishya, having taken his sacred bath with the permission of the Guru, and having well acquired his share of Vedic knowledge, and having properly maintained his vow according to the rule of Vedic studies, shall marry a wife of his Varna endowed with noble qualities. Okay, this is called caste endogamy, which is very looked down upon, obviously, but since we discussed last day a paper where the professor Shatonik Pal had essentially proved that there's no point calling caste caste. It's basically a status. So Varna, if we take into account that Varna is also a status, and people always marry in their status, regardless of what Manu says. So even today, Virat Kohli marries Anushka Sharma, not any of your friends. But even back then, even if we take into account it's caste endogamy, I recently came across some papers because some audience member suggested it, some follower of the channel. He suggested a great paper and I checked it out on JSTOR a bit. I checked out the abstract. So basically there are caste-based endogamous marriages everywhere on earth, and this paper was discussing Germany's such a system, and they are not calling those systems caste-based endogamy and stuff. They are saying assortative mating. People have been assorted to mating with only certain people. That happens everywhere in the world, but they call that assortative mating when it comes to other countries. For India, it's caste-based endogamy, bro. Shell Sharma, do you work in IT sector? No, I don't. Tam means usko sahas dvitiya vibhakti ek vachan. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Next shloka is Asapinda cha ya Matura sagotra cha ya pitu ta prashasta dvijatinam tarakarmani maithune. This means that girl who is not from the family of his mother for 6 generations and who is not from the lineage of his father, she is recommended for marriage and conjugal union. This is obviously so that they don't end up marrying a close cousin or brother or sister, because not only is that creepy, weird, evil, but also because it leads to very genetically deformed kids. The more far removed you are from somebody relationship wise, the better healthier chances of their kids being. Next shloka is Mahantyapi samriddhani go javi dhana dhanyata Tri sambandhe dashaitani kulani parivarjayat. He shall carefully avoid these 10 families, however great that is, in political power or rank, and rich they may be in kine, goats, sheep, wealth, and grain and cereal, when it is to abolish the conjugal tie, and cereal when it is to establish the conjugal tie with a young girl. ये 10 families को avoid करना है. Okay, which 10 families? However great that is. Let's see. We'll have to check out the next shloka. Hina kriyam nishpurusham nishchando roma sharshasam. Okay, now a huge word. Okay, let me give me some time. Shaya maya via pas marish vitri kushtikulanicha. This means that the families which are not religious, that is, devoid of righteous acts, which are destitute of men of character, in which no male child is born, where the study of the Vedas is neglected, where the members have long, thick hair on their body, where the members suffer from such diseases as piles, tuberculosis, consumptive epilepsy, leprosy, and leukodermia. Okay, some interesting advice. Next is Nodva het kapilam. Oh no, Nodva het kapilam kanyam nadhikangim na roginim, right? Nalomikam natilomam na vachatamam na pingalam. This means that, okay, they are not giving the translation right now. They are giving another shloka, and then they are going to give the translation together of shloka 8 and 9. Okay, so next here the next one. Narkashavrikshana dinamni Nankashavrikshana dinamnim Nantya parvata namikam na pakshya hi preshya namim pakshya hi preshyanamnim. Never heard such a word. Nacha bhishanamikam. Okay, he shall not marry a girl who is pale and anemic, nor one who is altogether a bigger and stronger person than himself, or has redundant member, nor one who is invalid, nor one who has no hair or too much hair, nor one who is immoderately talkative, nor one with red eyes, nor one with the name of a star, of a tree, of a river, of a snake, or a name that denotes a low origin or servility, nor one whose name inspires terror. Okay, these are interesting advices. We'll have to know if they are in line with Vedic teachings or not. Otherwise, they are just later interpolations with distortions of society seeping in. Avyangangim Saumyanamnim Hansavarnagaminim Tanulomake Shadashanam Mridvangi Mudvahetasriyam Mridvangi, right? Mridvangi Mudvahetriyam. He shall take for wife a young woman with a well-formed body, with soft limbs, without any defects, having a sweet name, and whose gait resembles that of a swan or an elephant, who is slender, with moderate hair on the body and pearly teeth. Okay, again, I've always maintained this, that ever since I first started reading the Manusmriti, that what's apparent is that Manu just notices, observes what's already happening. It's a commentary on the society. What's already happening, he just says that, yeah, keep doing it, because society seems to be running fine because you guys are doing this. So people anyway try to marry the most beautiful person they can. So with that, if society works with that, so yeah, please keep marrying as beautiful people as you can find. Okay. Chatur namapi varnanam pretya cheha hitahitan hitahitan ashta viman samasena tri vivahanni bodhata Now listen in brief to the description of the 8 forms of marriage with women which contribute to the good and evil for the 4 varnas, that is, the Brahmana, the Kshatriya, the Vaishya, and the Shudra. Here in this world and also after death to the next world. Brahmo Devas Tathai, okay, Devas Tathai Varsha Prajapatyas Tatha Sura Gandharvo Rakshashachaiva Paishachastamo Dhamma. This means that the 8 forms of marriage are Brahma, Daiva, Arsha, Prajapatya, Asura, Gandharva, Rakshasa, Paishacha. The latter is most abhorrent. Okay, 8 forms of marriage. Let me just mark this. I'll need to put a sticky note on this. It will be important. 8 forms of marriage. Okay. Okay, any comments about? Harsh is saying, here I see people consider marrying in same varna jati as casteism. Damn confusions. Yes. Achadya charchaitva cha shrutishilavate swayam ahuya danam kanyaya brahmo dharma prakirtitah. This means that the gift of a daughter after decking her with fine garments and honoring her with jewels to a young man who is learned in the Vedas, or whom the girl herself chose, or who is invited by the father himself, that form of giving a daughter in marriage is called Brahma Vivaha. Okay, so a love marriage. A love marriage is a Brahma Vivaha. Yagye tu vitate samya gridvije karma kurvate alankritya tutadanam daivam dharmam prachakshate. The gift of a girl who is decked with clothes and ornaments by the father to a young man who is selected to officiate at a big yagya is called the rite of the Daiva Vivaha. So it means marrying a priest, kind of a priest who does yagyas. That's Daiva Vivaha. Love marriage is Brahma Vivaha. Ekam gomithunam dve varadadaya dharmata kanya pradanam vidhi vadarso dharmasa uchyate. That marriage is called Arsha, where the father gives his daughter in marriage to the bridegroom according to the ordinance, after having lawfully received from him a pair of a cow and a bull or 2 pairs. So, ancient examples of, in a way, Dahej. Sahabho Charatam. Okay, no. This is not Dahej because it's a guy giving his marriage and daughter to bridegroom after having lawfully received from him a pair of a cow and a bull or 2 pairs. Yeah, I completely mixed it up. Then Sahabho Charatam Dharmiti Vachanu Bhashya Kanya Pradanama Bhyarcha Prajapatyo Vidhi Smrita. The gift of a daughter to a bridegroom after the performance of the specific wedding yagya, and with these words thus addressed to them, that may both of you together discharge the duties of a householder, is called Prajapatya Vivaha. This seems like any marriage endeavor. Yatibhyo Dravinam Datva Kanyani Chaiva Shaktitata. Okay, Shaktitata. Kanya Pradanam Shvachandya Dasuro Dharma Uchyate. This means that is called the Asura form of rite of marriage, where the bridegroom receives a maiden after having given as much wealth as he can, according to his ability, to the kin or to her out of his own desire, and with the performance of the appropriate yagya. So, in this case, the husband receives a maiden, which means getting a maid or some sort of. So that's called Asura. Vivaha. Okay. Harsha is saying, Bhaiya, which book is the best to understand the caste system? Like, what's truth or myth, when it started, etc., etc. See, there is no way you can understand this uniformly. Okay, there was no uniform caste system that was ever applicable in the entire Hindu civilization. Manusmriti was followed to some extent everywhere, but who followed how much is impossible to understand. There was always someone following something, someone always opposing something parallelly. Some things were going on here, the opposite was going on there. So whatever the British caste system was, obviously did not come out completely out of the blue. People were believing in birth-based casteism anyway, but how much of people were believing in birth-based caste system, that is also very diverse all over the place, because it's a huge place and we are talking about a huge length of time. So uniform answer kabhi nahi milne wala hai. So just read up anything as much as you can on caste. You read Manusmriti, you read Vedas, read Nicholas Dirks, and the guy who wrote Castes of Mind, the guy who Deepak recommends a lot. सब कुछ ही पढ़ना है, सब कुछ पढ़ के एक बेस्ट रफ आइडिया ही मिलेगा. उससे ज़्यादा आपको कॉन्क्रीट आंसर कोई नहीं मिलेगा कि अच्छा ये कास्टिज्म वन फाइन मॉर्निंग शुरू हो गया पूरे जगह में कास्ट सिस्टम. ऐसा नहीं होगा. Okay, next shloka is इच्छायन्योन्यासं योगा कन्यायश्च वरस्य च गांधर्व सतु विज्ञे मैथुन्य Kamasambhava, where it is the wish of a maiden and her lover. There is the voluntary union, that form of marriage which springs from the passionate desire of the couple. Know it to be the Gandharva rite. So living together before and or not marrying at all is, I guess, Gandharva form of marriage. Then Hatva Chichitva cha Hitva cha Kroshantim Rudatim Grihat prasahya kanyaharanam rakshaso vidhiruhyate. Okay, the abduction and carrying away by force a helpless maiden who is screaming, weeping, and is in fear from her house after killing and eliminating her guardians and relations is called the Rakshasa rite. What Ravan kind of tried to do. Okay, suptam mattam pramattam varaho yatro pagachati sa papishto vivahanam paishachastamo dhama. Where a man finds a lonely, sleeping, insane, or intoxicated girl, ravishes her, that form of union is called paishacha and is the most sinful of the 8 forms of marriages. Yeah, raping someone while they are intoxicated, that's called paishacha. Brahmadishu vivaheshtu chaturshvevanu purvasha Brahma varchasvina putra jayante shishta samata. The children born from the 4 marriages mentioned successively, that is, from the 4th to the 1st form of marriage, grow up to become radiant with the knowledge of the Veda and are honored by the virtuous and honest men. Rupa sattva gunopeta dhanvanto yashasvina prayapta bhoga dharmanishtha jivanti cha shatam sama. These children, endowed with the qualities of beauty, noble traits, become wealthy and renowned, and are qualified to enjoy life fully, and being most virtuous, they live for 100 years. And live for 100 years का क्या concept है, उसके लिए मुझे वेदवीर आर्या का कुछ books पढ़ना होगा, because he has gotten into the exact chronology of the Hindu ways of counting time. But other than that, notice how that this is a very common occurrence even today, right? They are talking about the most stable marriages leading to the most stable, knowledgeable, and sane children who will be successful in their life. Where do the most successful people come out? There always can be an exception, like people who come from a broken family, extremely poor, abusive parents, then also the child becomes successful, etc. But those are exceptions. But where do the most numbers of successful people in the society come from? From great parentage, from great marriages, successful people, successful marriages. And that is what Manusmriti is recommending here. That please, this is not even a recommendation, this is an observation that ऐसे अगर जो marriages हुए वहीं से successful बच्चे निकलेंगे. The Hindu Vichardhara show Namaskaram to all. Namaskar. Chinmay is saying, guys, can someone recommend good history sources and books for Bengal, Bihar, Northeast India? R.C. Majumdar, absolutely. First and foremost, R.C. Majumdar. Then थोड़ा बहुत हिस्ट्री ऑफ बंगालीज, इसका बंगाली में नाम है बांगाली इतिहास. इट्स रिटन बाय निहार रंजन रॉय. There is an English translation available on Amazon. Then another book, another person I can recommend, उनका बुक का नाम है, he's a Japanese guy, okay, रूसियो सुहोरा ऐसा कुछ नाम है. यू कैन चेक आउट हिज पेपर ऑन जे स्टोर और समवेयर, जे स्टोर या फिर कोई और पेपर का साइट में. हिज पेपर के नाम से तुमको मिल जाएगा आदमी, मगर देन रीड हिज बुक. हिज बुक केम आउट इन 2019 as far as I can remember. His paper is about the merchant groups of Bengal. His research of that particular paper was on the Vaishya classes of Bengal. I was today checking out all the different castes and surnames of Bengal. I have a friend called Shayok Paul whom I have interviewed for this channel as well. So he is a world famous AI engineer. So I was machine learning expert. So I was talking with him about the Pal dynasty. So giving him just the excitement that yeah, you may be descendant of the Pal dynasty. So I read up a lot on the Pal dynasty today. So I was finding out pretty fascinating things, that the first king of the Pala dynasty, I always knew that they were a Buddhist kingdom, which is a complete lie. Someone from the comment section a few days back said that it's really no point calling them a Buddhist dynasty. They were just Buddhist leaning at best. But then I realized that they were being Buddhist, I think, only because of political gains, because their predecessors were overtly Hindu, their competitors were overtly Hindu, because the second king of the Pal dynasty, Dharmapala, they defeated Cholas in Bengal. Cholas could not annex Bengal just because of this king called Dharmapala. Now, Dharmapala's biggest achievement was also that you'll have to understand that any kingdom of Vanga, the Bengal region, all these kingdoms have always had a very strained relationship with whoever rules Ujjain, or not Ujjain, Kanauj, okay, Kanyakubja. So even when Muslim kings came, Muslim kings of Kanauj had problems with Muslim kings of Bengal as well. So this Dharmapala probably is the only Bengal king who annexed Kanauj as well. And there he set up his own vassal king, then went on creating vassals after vassal after vassal, all the way to the west up till Jalandhar, which is why there are Punjabi Sikh people. I don't think they're Sikhs, at least Punjabi people with the surname Pal. They're absolutely Punjabi, they're nowhere Bengali, but their surname is Pal because Pal dynasty had some remnants there. So then I realized that the Pal dynasty was the first king of the Pal dynasty, Gopala, was elected. He did not annex any land. He did not have his own army, etc. So when Shashanka, who is arguably the greatest Bengali king of all time, who was a devout, proud and ardent Shaivite, even the Bengali calendar is basically from his birth time. I think the Bengali year we are in 14 something. I don't remember. Most Bengalis don't remember the Bengali calendar. So the Bengali calendar is based on Shashank's birth year. So King Shashank, after his death, he made one mistake. That is, a lot of kings have made this mistake in India, but those who haven't, they have led successful dynasties. So you have to always have your lineage set up from beforehand. If you don't set up your intern जैसा कोई आदमी who will succeed you, उसको अगर तुमने prepare नहीं किया, prepare करने से ही पहले तुम खत्म हो गए, मर गए, then your kingdom will be in jeopardy. So Shashank also did the same mistake. After him, his son Manava came to power, and after very soon the kingdom dynasty went to hell. And then for 100 years Bengal had tremendous violence, chaos everywhere. It was Matsya Nyaya all over Bengal. And so finally, tired from all the violence, all small kingdoms all warring with each other all the time, all the chieftains, tribal leaders approached this bureaucrat, a Brahmin bureaucrat, Gopala, who lived in North Bengal. North Bengal was called back then Varendra Bhumi. So this Brahmin bureaucrat from Varendra becomes a Kshatriya by becoming the king, because people elect him to become king, and then they say that, yeah, please bro, help us out, unite our goddamn land and end this violence. and there was a Naga queen apparently, mythical kind of a story here. Naga queen used to whoever used to become a significant king, the Naga queen used to kill them that night. So this it is said that Gopala killed that Naga queen as well, and then Gopala's grandson Devpala became the greatest king of the Pala dynasty. So he annexed, invaded Pragjyotisha, which is Assam, and annexed Utkala, which is Orissa. So that's Devpala's entire family, entire area. And I also today learned that the word Pal, it means protection. That is why Gopala, Lalan Palan, all these words. Palna, that means protection, not upbringing. So Gopala means cow protector, Dharmapala means protector of Dharma. And so these Pal dynasty is finally annexed, defeated in war after their kingdom also becomes gradually weak. Their dynasty becomes gradually weak by the Hindu Sena kingdom who come from Karnataka. And before them, there was Shashanka, who was also a Shaivite. In between, the Pala dynasty finances a lot of Buddhist things. They finance the legendary Tantric Buddhist scholar called Atish Dipankar, who goes to Tibet and spreads a bit of Tantric Buddhism as well. Okay. Okay. So Shravya is saying, "Hey Hindu Vichardhara, happy to see you." Okay. Thanks guys. Lots of guys have joined. So my point was saying on this entire story was that, so I was finding out what is the history of my surname Saha. So I realized that the word, some people have the surname Sadhu. They are the same as these people with the surname Saha. All of them are the merchant class with the same lineage. Some word got distorted here and there, but Saha also means kuch sehna. That is the uniform in all translation, whether it's Prakrit, Hindi, Bengali. In Bengali, we have a word called Shodjo, which is written as Sahya. Sahya would be the exact literal spelling based translation of how we pronounce it. Any word you go, any translation you go to in any Indian language, Saha means enduring something. So that's a funny way of looking at it. Doesn't Pal mean sail of a boat? Yeah, that's Nokor Pal as well. Maybe that because that Pal protects the Noko as well. But in this case, Dharmapal, Khetropal, Devpal are all protectors of those particular things. Remember, at the end of the movie Kantara, there was when Guliga is about to cut the throat of the king. Remember, he said that, remember, your ancestor had made the promise to the Khetrapal about these things, and then you didn't follow through the promise, and that's why I'm going to chop off your head. So I didn't know that Khetrapal means protector of something. I did not know Pal means protector, but today it makes sense because few days back while discussing the Brahma Puran, I learned that Kshetra means a Tirtha. All these time, because the way we speak it in Bengali today, Kshetra means any place, any area means Kshetra. But actually Kshetra means a Tirtha place. So when someone says Tirtha Kshetra in Bengali, we always say Tirtha Khetro. We mean it to say that it's a place where a tirtha happens, but that's not actually how it's supposed to be. Tirtha kshetra in Bengali or in any language would mean that tirtha comma kshetra or tirtha dash kshetra, because both mean a holy place where you're supposed to go to do your sacred chores. But so Kshetrapala in Kantara, that's why they use the word, because that guy was the protector of the religious, the holy place, Kshetrapal. Okay. So now the next shloka is Itareshu tu shishteshu nrisham san rita vadina jayante durvivaheshtu brahmadharma dvisha suta. This means that, but from the remaining other 4 marriages which are blameful are born children who are cruel, untruthful, and who hate the Vedas and Dharma. Okay, broken homes giving birth to raising woke children, it seems to be a very common occurrence, so I don't see how Manu is wrong here. All those years back, it was the same things going on. Ananditay Stri Vivaharanindya Bhavati Praja Ninditair Nindita Rinam Tasmanindyan Vivarjayet. This means that from the blameless marriages, blameless children are born, whereas from those marriages that are condemnable, men give birth to children whose characters are loose. Therefore, the condemnable marriages shall be avoided. Yeah, condemnable marriages shall be avoided for a lot of things. One of which most commonly will obviously be that you are going to raise shitty children. So there always can be exceptions. People who can get become great people out of bad marriages, but it should be avoided as much as possible. Ritu Kula Bhigami, Ritu Kala, okay, Ritu Kala Bhigami, Siyat Siyat Svadar Nirata Sada, Parvavarjam Vrajechainam, Tadvrato Rati Kamyaya. This means that the husband, being always faithful to his wife and to the vow of marriage, shall approach her in due season with a desire for conjugal union, and he shall avoid the forbidden parvas and dates. Okay, so as I said, if anyone actually reads Manusmriti, see, this is how so much of women's consent is discussed here. I will just mark this place as pro woman. So anyone can pick out any damn shloka from Manusmriti and call it anti-woman or anti-shudra. But if you read Manusmriti, actually you will find that you can just as well make a case for Manusmriti being anti-brahmacharya, anti-brahmin, anti-vaishya, anything. And now you see it's how pro-woman it is. So it's just a very diverse book of different kinds of rules. And after all, you have to remember that it was for a particular time, and a lot of them are very relevant today as well. And if they are not relevant today, we have the right to reject them. But I'm looking at it for the wisdom and what our history was. So in that case, see how pro-woman this is, that the husband is supposed to ask for permission from his wife for having sex. So even back then, what's the word for the marriage that the rape that can happen even after marriage? The case which Deepak himself is fighting for. I forgot the term. But anyway, so that there is some, it can't be prevented 100%, but there is at least some dharmic diktat that this should not be done. You're supposed to ask for consent of your wife. Even if she is your wife, you're not supposed to just try to have sex with her anytime you want, which is what liberals will go around saying, obviously, because it's a great thing to say. But they will also say that somehow they are saying a very new and progressive thing, but it's written in Manusmriti. Manusmriti is saying that the husband is supposed to ask for the wife's consent. Okay. Pal is for Kshatriyas who protect. Pal is protector, yes. And the Pal dynasty became Kshatriya from being a Brahmin. Undying is saying, started watching you since last week. God bless you, bro. Fantastic depth and clarity on ending thought. Thank you. I just a beginner. Yeah. Okay. So next shloka is Ritu Svabhavika Srinam Ratriya Shodasha Smrita Chaturbhiritare Sadharma Hobhi Sadvigarhitai. The natural season of women in each month are the 16 nights, and it includes the first 4 days of flow, which are condemned by the wise. Those days you are not supposed to have sex, I guess. But okay, next shloka is Tasamadhyashchatasratu Ninditai Kadashi cha ya Trayodashi cha Sheshastu Prashasta Dasha Ratriya. So it says that, but among these, the first 4, the 11, and the 13th nights are also condemnable, and the remaining 10 nights are recommendable for sexual cohabitation. Okay. Yugmasu putra jayante striyugmasu ratrishu tasmadyugmasu putrarthi vishedartve striyam. Sons are conceived on even nights, and when conception takes place on uneven nights, daughters are born. Hence, a man who desires to have sons should approach his wife in due season on the even nights. This is interesting and not very relevant or believable. I don't see why I need to comment on the validity of each shloka, but just for anyone who, some hater who might be watching, for them I'm getting into it a bit anyway, that this book started with 7 criteria, that if something is not in line with Vedas and something that contradicts itself is a later interpolation from a distorted society. So society distort jo hua wo to in it was the fault of Hindus anyway, so I'm not trying to shift the blame here, but this does not seem to have any relevance with Vedas, so I don't see how this is relevant. Although I haven't read entire Vedas, but I don't think having sex on particular nights and leading to sons, it may have been some superstition based on some observances of some empiricism. But if it's not in line with Vedas, if someone knows the Vedas, let us know. If it's not in line with the Vedas, this is definitely a later interpolation, because remember, Vedo khilo dharma moolam. Many people, including Manu, has said himself that whatever I'm writing is based on Vedas. I'm never shifting from Vedas. Okay, X Dhimmi is saying yes, shows intercaste movement from Brahmin to Kshatriyas. Yes, Varna Ashrama allowed such inter-Varna movements, and I've heard even the Sena dynasty were Brahmins, I think, who became Kshatriyas. Okay. Next shloka is Puman punsodhike shukre stri bhavatyadhike striya tame punam pum striyo va shnelpe cha viparyaya. Where the potency of the semen of the father is high, a male child is born, and where the maternal prevalence is high, a female child is born. In cases where the prevalence of semen of the father and the mother are equal, an impotent boy or a barren girl is born. Where the semen qualities is less or weak, no conception takes place, that is their failure. Okay, semen qualities being less and weak, so obviously no conception. This one makes sense, but the others don't. Even if they don't make sense, I have a better observance here. So see, I checked out some Buddhist channels where they were dissing on this particular version of the Manusmriti. Okay, it's called the Vishuddha Manusmriti. They are saying that this translator has made up absolute random translations only to debunk the idea that casteism is promoted in Manusmriti. They are saying that this translator is a liar, and he has done it with that hidden agenda, that so that they can now be apologetic about the caste system. That is not the case, because we have already seen shlokas where it can be interpreted as being absolutely anti-Brahmin. So those things are there. Along with them, these shlokas are there which can still be called problematic or meaningless. Okay, so that shows that this translator was not sitting down with some apologetic agenda के हाँ सब कुछ जो भी problematic दिखे निकाल दे, सब अच्छे चीज के यहाँ पे रख दे. That's not his target, because he has kept these shlokas as well. Nindyas vashtasu chanyasu striyo ratrishu varjayan brahmacharyeva bhavati yatra tatra shrame vasan. He who avoids women on the 6 nights and on the 8 other nights of the recommended 10, that is, he who approaches his wife on the 2 days, that man is certainly a brahmachari, though he is living in the life of a grihasthi householder. Okay. Na kanyaya pita with, okay, now it's a huge word, so give me some time. Na kanyaya pita vidvan grihniyachul. Okay, there are 2 ch. Okay, vidyan vidvan or vidvan grihniyachulkaman vapi grihanchulkam hi lobhena tyannaropatya vikrai. An erudite father of a maiden shall not take out of greed even the smallest form of gratuity in the marriage of his daughter, because he who takes anything by way of payment it means that he is a seller of offspring. So, an erudite father of a maiden shall not take out of greed even the smallest form of gratuity. So this shows an evolving society, okay? Because just 2 pages back, it said that some kinds of marriages, uh, the the father of the daughter is supposed to take 2 cows and etc. from the bridegroom. But here they are saying that they are never supposed to take any gift, because if you do that, you are kind of being a seller of an offspring. So see, whatever the flaws whatever the flaws in Hinduism that don't seem to be a flaw in the beginning, then they seem to be a flaw later on. The reform in Hinduism comes from Hinduism itself. So some people obviously saw that the Dahej seems to be a bad thing, even if it's the man giving the daughter in his father-in-law some cows. Even that is very bad, because it seems like the daughter is being sold off. Then therefore stop that, and therefore they inserted that in the Manusmriti. Okay, so Hinduism का reform हिंदुओं के हाथ ही होगा, मार्क्सिस्ट नहीं चाहिए हमें उनके लिए. So this is important. Reform in the Manusmriti, but also this is in contradiction with whatever was said earlier. So either one of the two is definitely a later interpolation. Either this was the first norm, then that got added, or that was the first norm and then this one got added. But this is after the first one, so this is the later reformed interpolation. I'll just note it that it's a reformed interpolation. And no Dahej, an anti-Dahej statement in the an overtly directly anti-Dahej statement in Manusmriti. Okay. Ex Jimmy is saying specific days and food are recommended. These are guidelines. Atharveda contains similar recommendations. Okay. Yes, Hindu acharyas can use their vivek and as per desh kal tweak this way. Exactly. Chinmay is saying my mother is from the Lohana caste, which is a sub-tribe of the Gizlai Pashtuns, who migrated to Rajasthan and Punjab during invasions and got mixed with Rathore Rajputs, and my father is Tamil Brahmin. I see. Nice. XJM is saying yes, shows it, Varna Ashrama allowed such intercaste Varna movement. Yes. Okay. Next shloka is Tridhanani tuye moha dupah jivanti bandhava nari yanani vastram vate papa yantyadhogatim. It means that but those relations, that is the father, the brother, etc., who out of folly, out of a bad characteristic, out of a flaw, live on the property of the women or appropriate their means of conveyance like the beasts of burden, carriages or clothes, they, the wicked, go to hell. So if you live in your women, in the daughter's house or in your sister's house, and then you try to steal their property or make that property your own, you go to hell. Such pro-women arguments here. We have these shlokas from the Manusmriti to make our case for Manusmriti, and at the very least to defend Manusmriti. Okay, and in face of people who are outright casting all sorts of hate on Hinduism and Manusmriti, show them these, even if it's a later interpolation. लेटर इंटरपोलेशन जब कास्टिज्म का होता है, प्रो कास्टिज्म इंटरपोलेशन है, वो तो तुम लेके दिखाते हो सबको, देखो हिंदुइज्म कितना खराब है, तो ये हम लेटर इंटरपोलेशन भी फेंक के तुम्हारे मुंह पे मारेंगे कि देखो कितना प्रो वुमेन श्लोकास भी हैं यहाँ पे. नेक्स्ट श्लोका इज आर्षे गोमिथुनम शुल्कम केचिदाहुर्मृषैव तत् अल्पोप्यवम महानवापि Vikrayastava. This means that some call the acceptance of a cow and a bull as a payment by the father during the Arsha marriage to be wrong. Exactly. Oh my god. Now, not only did we see one thing which was being reformed and contradicted 2 pages later, now we see a commentary on that reform. Okay, see, these are all later reformations from Hinduism, inside Hinduism itself. You don't have to hate Hinduism to reform Hinduism. Some call the acceptance of a cow and a bull as a payment by the father during the Arsha marriage to be wrong, since they say that it is indeed the sale of the daughter, no matter whatever gratuity is taken, small or great, insignificant or costly. But अभी जो दहेज का मामला है, So in the Dahej case, it seems like that the son is being sold off then in that case. अरे मेरे mic को हुआ क्या है? Okay. So all pro women. Now it's a commentary on Manusmriti inside Manusmriti. Okay. That is the flexibility here. So flexibility does not mean that koi bhi kuch bhi kare. There are some non-negotiables, but the framework is very large and very diverse and very accepting. So next shloka is Yasam nadadate shulkam gyana yatayo nasa vikraya arhanam. Okay, vikraya, maybe something with selling. Arhanam. Okay, now a huge word, so give me some time. Arhanam tat kumari naman risham syam cha kevalam. Where the relations of the bride, that is the father or others, do not take any gratuity or gift from the bridegroom party, that is not the sale of the girl. In fact, where the marriage is settled without the exchange of any wealth, there, in that case, it is only an adoration and a token of respect and kindness towards the maidens. Yes, this is beautiful. No tokens. No one is giving any dahej here. That is based on only adoration. So these are just commentaries and observations. Okay, see, all of a sudden this is not recommending anything. They are saying that yeah, that's how it is. If a marriage happens like this, this is what it means. If there is no dahej in a marriage, then it's based on just adoration. That they are just commenting. I don't think Manu has written this himself. This is a later interpolation. Okay. Pitribhir भ्रातृभिश्चैत पतिभिर्देवरैस्तथा पूज्य भूषयितव्यश्च बहुकल्याणमिप्सुभिः. This means that these women must be adored and honored by the father, the brothers, the husband, the brothers-in-law, if they wish many a blessing in their life, and they shall be provided all items of beauty and ornament, food and clothes, and sweet and kind words spoken to them. Okay, nice pro-woman stuff. Yatra naryastu. Okay, yatra naryastru pujyante ramante tatra devata yatraitatsu na pujyante sarvastatra phala kriya. Where the women are honored, there in that family, devas or divine qualities roam. That is, are available there. What is available there? Quality food and enjoyments, and noble children are born. But in those families where the women are ill-treated, there all acts go fruitless. Okay, another pro-woman shloka in the infamous Manusmriti. ये सब श्लोका उठा के JNU पे टंगवाना होगा. Sochanti jamayo yatra vinashyat yashu tatkulam na shochanti tu yatraita vardhate tadhi sarvada. In the families where the females live in grief, there that family perishes soon. But where they are held in respect and they do not grieve, those families always prosper. Kya likh raha hai? So you see how big of a liar someone is when they say that Manusmriti is bad because it promotes casteism. They either have not read Manusmriti at all or have completely ignored the good parts deliberately just to defame Hinduism. There's no other reason for doing this, for ignoring pages after pages after pages of anti-Brahmin and pro-women shlokas in the Manusmriti. Jamayo yani gehani shapant yaprati pujita tani krityah taniva vinashyanti samanatah. In those houses where the females are not worshipped, that is, they are not adored and honored, due to their curse, those houses and families entirely perish, just like many are at once killed by acts of crime. And haven't you seen this in newses? Every family where the wife is burnt or something, or is attempted to be murdered because they didn't get enough dahej, what's the fate of those families? Those families always go to hell. Those families get destroyed forever and ever. And that's what's being recommended in Manusmriti, that be pro-woman, be nice to the wife in the family, or you are going to hell, or your family is going to hell, literally and metaphorically. You are going to be destroyed. Shravya is saying, learning all this makes me think that Ambedkar never read Manusmriti. Seems like it. Vinay saying, you reading Sanskrit shlok make leftists die out of laughing. Yeah. Are you saying my pronunciations are that bad? I feel hurt, bro. Okay. Rohan is saying, Chinmay, sadly there is no authentic book for Bengal's history. We Bengalis don't know about true history of Bengal, especially before Bengal Sultanate and British period. Yeah, Bengal's history is pretty weak. Only hope is R.C. Majumdar. R.C. Majumdar and Nihar Ranjan Rai. They have done some comprehensive research of Bengal. Uske pehle kuch bhi nahi. Or there are some accounts of Shashank, etc. But wo sab R.C. Majumdar mein hi mil jayega. Okay. Next shloka says that तस्मादेता सदा पूज्य भूषणच्छदन शनय भूति कमैर्न oh my god, this is a huge word. भूति कामैर नरायर नित्यम सत्करेषुत्सवेषु च. These women are always worthy of worship, that is, they are to be adored and respected, which means the wives are always worthy of worship, that is, they are to be adored and respected. Hence, the men seeking their own welfare and prosperity shall always honor them with gifts of ornaments, clothes, foods, etc. on the occasion of holidays and festivals. Okay, next shloka. Samtushto bharyaya bhartra bharya tathaivacha Yasminneve kule nityam kalyanam tatra vai dhruvam. In the family where the wife is pleased with her husband and also the husband with the wife, there in that family only steadfast prosperity and happiness certainly dwell. This is 100% correct. Any rich guy, any successful man, even if they are not rich, even if they are like they used to be lower class economically, then they went to middle class, or they were in middle class, now they are in the upper class or upper middle class, any such successful person will tell you that yes, this is 100% the case. Yadi hi stri na rocheta purmansam na pramodayet modat punah punsa prajanam na pravartate. If the wife is not radiant with beauty and is not attracted towards her husband, and certainly if the husband is not attracted to her because of lack of attraction, progeny does not follow. Yeah, that is, children are not born, and if they are born, they become wicked because they don't get enough attention, because the wife and husband are obviously maybe fighting all the day. Striyam tu rocha manayam. Okay, striyam tu rocha manayam. Sarvam tadrochate kulam tasyam tvaracha. Okay, tvarocha manayam sarvameva na rochate. Where the wife is happy in her marriage and as a result she is radiant with beauty, then the whole family is happy and the house is bright and colorful. But where she is not happy, then certainly there no one is happy and all appear gloomy. Yes, obviously. Another pro woman after pro woman. ये क्या मैं लग रहा है मैं कोई फेमिनिस्ट फेसबुक पेज का पोस्ट पढ़ रहा हूँ. Okay, Vivaha part is over. Okay, this chapter is supposed to cover Vivaha, Samavartana and Panchamahayajna. So Vivaha शुरू किया, खत्म किया. 70% of what that was just treat the wife nice, treat the wife nice, treat the wife nice. ये क्या क्या कैसा मनुस्मृति है ये क्या फेमिनिस्ट मनुस्मृति बन गया अभी. So Manusmriti is anti-Shudra, anti-Brahmin, anti-Brahmacharya, pro-woman, anti-woman, everything is Manusmriti. Agarwal, now the watching will increase. Ex Jimmy saying, this is a beautiful verse. Yes, those families which kill women are adharmic and go to Nark. Okay, ex Jimmy or whoever's watching this, can you all tell me, adharmi and vidharmi is not the same, right? I think what exhimi means here should be vidharmi. Adharmi is just someone who does not want to subscribe to the ideas of Vedas. Like Charvaks are probably adharmis, or Lingayats may be considered adharmis. No, Lingayats are not entirely adharmis. I don't know. But if someone does not subscribe to the particular ideas of Vedas or Manusmriti, but still wants to live in the society without creating any problems for anyone, that person is probably adharmi. But vidharmi is specifically a person who wants to destroy the people around them. Okay, I think there's the difference, right? And I think what you are trying to say should mean that they are vidharmis. Vinay Singh is yes, reading Sanskrit shlok make leftist die out of laughing. Pronouncing Sanskrit is itself a task. Yeah. Feminist Smriti. Yes, that's what this seems like. Okay, what's the time? Okay, it's just 10. I'll try to finish the entire chapter today. Now, Panchamahayajna. Vaivahikegno kurvita grihyam karma yatha vidhi. Actually, I'm having trouble reading the Sanskrit sloka, not because just because I don't know any Sanskrit, but because they have done one crazy thing which is making reading the Sanskrit even tougher. Okay, what they've done is they have done the, okay, you can't see this probably. The Sanskrit shlokas are in italics, okay, and they are thinner than the English parts. तो इसलिए प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. वो संस्कृत श्लोक के जगह में ऑप्टिकल इल्यूजन हो रहा है, पूरा लेटर्स हिल रहा है ऐसे. और ऊपर से ऐसा वर्ड है कि जो कभी सुना नहीं है. तो नेक्स्ट श्लोका इज वैवाहिक. ओके, सो पंचमहायज्ञ. ओके, वैवाहिकेग्नो कुर्विता गृह्यम कर्म यथा विधि. पंचमहायज्ञ विधानम च पंक्तिम चन्वहिकिम गृही. The householder, grihastha, shall perform all household duties, that is, the domestic ceremonies as prescribed in the marital fire, that is, the sacred fire which was lit during the marriage ceremony. He shall also perform the 5 daily duties and cook his food daily. So the grihastha is supposed to cook his food daily. Does that mean that the wife does not cook food? और कितना फेमिनिस्ट बनने वाला है मनुस्मृति. So next, पंचसूना गृहथस्य चुल्ली पेशन्युपस्करा कंदनी चोदकुंभश्च बध्यते यस्तु वाहायन. For the grihastha, there are 5 places of harm. They are the hearth, the grinding stone, the broom, the pestle and the mortar, the water pot, and by using which he is bound to the fetters of sin. These 5, when used, kill animal life. Okay, I wonder why it's written. Tasam kramena sarvasam nishkriyartham maharshibhi pancha kliri KLRIPTAH kliripta Mahayagya Pratyaham Griha Medhinam. The great sages have ordained the daily performance of the 5 great duties, Panchamahayajnas, for the grihasthas, successively in the expiation of the harm done to creatures by these tools at all these places. Okay, the great sages have ordained the daily performance of the 5 great duties for the grihasthas successively in the expiation of the harm, so in order to eliminate the harm done to the creatures by these tools at all these places. Okay, so what are the tools? Adhyapanam brahmayagya pitri yagyastu tarpanam. Okay, tarpanam homo daivo balirbhoto riyagyo tithi pujanam. The 5 mahayajnas are brahmayagya, that is, to teach and study the Vedas and to do samdhyopasana, worship and meditation. Pitri Yagya is to care and serve the parents and elders with devotion and dedication, so that they feel satisfaction by the service of the children. Now it's a pro old people text now, Manusmriti. Old age home का भी जरूरत नहीं. Manusmriti is recommending that अरे भाई take care of your parents. Deva Yagya is the morning and the evening homam, that is, the daily offering of oblations into the sacred fire. Bhuta Yagya, which is also called Bali Deva Yagya. Bali Deva Yagya is to offer food to the animals every day. So now it's a pro animal rights book, Manusmriti. एक मिनट, ये भी मार्क कर लेता हूँ. Pro old people, pro animals को हर रोज खिलाना है, एटलीस्ट काउज में भी. काउज का तो वैसे भी होली भी है. Is to offer food to the animals every day. And Niyagya is hospitality, that is, receiving of guests who may call without giving any date of arrival. Yeah, Atithi Narayana. Atithi means someone who has. Let me know if the internet is back, okay? Smriti. Yes, saw half of Vivek Ognithotri's speech. His home appliances also killed insects. I see. Vinay Singh is saying, I have seen so many chapri couples doing love marriage, ghar se bhag ke, and they suffer the most. शाहरुख खान की फिल्म में देख के भाग जाते हैं पर पता नहीं होता कि लाइफ जिए कैसे. Yes, buffering दादा. Yes, I guess the net was gone a bit. Okay. Modern Hindus are generally not vidharmi. Right. Yes, sometimes modern Hindus do not know their dharam. RRR won Oscars for Natu Natu Ye. Mutual attraction is important in Hindu marriage, of course. So it promotes love marriage. Yes, feminist smriti. So, yeah, one thing available on this channel. Okay, अभय वो विवेक अग्निहोत्री वाला स्पीच उसमें स्वपन दास गुप्ता को भी आना था ना. और आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट विवेक अग्निहोत्री स्पीच इन शांति निकेतन टुडे? डिड ही डू इट इन कोलकाता एज वेल? I had planned to go there, but to get passes, you are supposed to call Shankudev Panda. उसका phone number दिया हुआ था, so I didn't think of going there. But I wanted to listen to Shankudev Panda speak. And Tapan Das Gupta, Shubhendu Adhikari, Anupam Kher, and Vivek Agnihotri. These 4 people were supposed to come. Did that event happen today, or just Vivek Agnihotri and Anupam Kher went to Vishwabharati? That event happened today. I don't know. Okay, so internet is back. Let's continue. So Niyagya is hospitality, that is receiving of Atithi. Next, Panchaitanyo Mahayagyana Hapayati Shaktita Sagrihepi Vasan Suna Doshairna Lipyate. He who neglects not but performs these 5 Mahayagyas daily according to his ability is not tainted by the sins which are committed at the 5 places of harm. Not tainted by the sins which are committed at the 5 places of harm, though he constantly lives the life of a grihastha. One sentence is very important here. Remember, according to his ability, okay? This is the flexibility of Hinduism. ये करना तो है ही सब कुछ. आइडियल एक है, आइडियल फॉलो करना है, मगर फॉलो नहीं कर पाए वो भी बेटर है. नॉट हैविंग आइडियल्स इज नॉट द वे टू गो, विच इज़ व्हाट मार्क्सिस्ट गेट रॉन्ग. कि आइडियल अचीव नहीं हो रहा है तो आइडिया को मारो गोली. आइडियल को मारो गोली, तो वो नहीं है. यहाँ पे आइडियल दिया जा रहा है कि ये होना है, मगर टू योर एबिलिटी भी ठीक है. अगर नहीं भी हुआ आइडियल, एकदम थोड़ा 80% भी हुआ तब भी ठीक है. तुम्हारा अगर कैपेबिलिटी 80 है तो 80 करो, मगर आइडियल नहीं रखोगे तब तो 70, 60, 50 कुछ भी नहीं होगा. नेक्स्ट श्लोका इज देवततिथि भृत्यनम पितृनमत मनश्च या निर्वपति पंचनमच. ओके, ह्यूज वर्ड नाउ. Panchanamuchavasanna sajivati. This means that he who does not provide and does not give their share to these 5, that is to the devas, devayagya, the guests, atithi yagya, the servants, the needy, and the animals, bhuta yagya, the mother, the father, the grandparents, and the elders, pitri yagya, and do not serve himself, brahma yagya, ved padna vagara. He is indeed not living though he is indeed not living though he breathes. क्या line है. Oof. Okay, we are now discussing people who we have seen all around us who don't take care of their parents, etc., or who are bad with guests, so wo chodo. But not taking care of your parents has become a pretty common thing in recent days. उसके बारे में मनुस्मृति बोल रहा है, he is indeed not living though he breathes. अहुतम च हुतम चैव तथा प्रहुतमेव च ब्राह्म्यम हुतम प्रशितम च पंचयज्ञन प्रचक्षते. These 5 great duties prescribed for the grihastha are also called ahutam, hutam, prahutam, brahmyam hutam, and prashitam. व्यपोहुतो हुतो होमः प्रहुतो भौतिको बलि ब्राह्म्यम हुतम द्विजग्रयार्च प्रशीतम प्रशीतम पितृतर्पणम. This means that Dvijagrayarcha is a respectful reception or hospitality of the learned and the pious, Atiti Yagya, and the daily care and provision of food to the parents is called Prashitam. Svadhyaye Nityayukta Tyadaive Chaiveha Karmani Daiva Karmani Yukto hi Bibhartidam Characharam. The Grihastha man and woman shall be constantly engaged in the study of the Vedas, which is Brahma Yagya, and also be diligent in doing Deva Karma, Deva Yagya, because by the performance of the Deva Yagya, they indeed support the movable and the non-movable, that is, the living and the non-living worlds. Okay, next shloka. Agno prastahuti samya gaditya mupatishthate aditya jayate vrishtir vrishterannam tatah praja. When oblations or offerings of ghee and other substances are offered duly into the fire, the oblations reach the sun. That is, the sun rays, and they act, those oblations reach the sun, and then the sun rays, they act as catalysts in the process of rain formation, and rain falls. From the rain, water, plants and crops grow to produce food, and from food the living creatures derive their subsistence. Yeah, this is as Vedic as it gets. This is absolutely Rig Vedic. Yatha vayum samashritya vartante sarvajantava तथा गृहस्थमाश्रित्य vartante sarve ashrama. Just as all living creatures subsist by having recourse to air and live, even so the just as all living creatures subsist by having air to breathe, in the same way, air to breathe and live, in the same way, members of all other orders, brahmacharya, vanaprastha and sannyasa, subsist by receiving support from the grihasthas. Oh, okay, this is a very important sentence. Okay, this is supposed to be, let's say, funding of scholars, funding system, funding or bhiksha system, maybe not exactly bhiksha, but anyway, this is kind of the funding of scholars we are supposed to do even today. You are supposed to give dan to these people, nahi to ye log वैसा wisdom का life जिएंगे कैसे. Just as oxygen is important, air is important for the grihastha to breathe, in the same way the grihastha is important to the brahmacharya, vanaprastha and sannyasa people. Equally important है वो लोग इन लोगों के लिए. Okay, next shloka is yasmatrayopya shramino danenannena chanvaham grihasthenaiva dharyante tasmajjeshthashramo grihi. This means that the ashrama by which the other three ashramas are daily supported with donations and food is the grihastha. Therefore, it is indeed the foremost of all ashramas. Yeah, obviously, they are the wealth generators, wealth creators, donators, everything. Ta sandharya prayatnena स्वर्गमाक्षया मिच्छता सुखम चहे चच्छता नित्यम योधर्यो दुर्बलेन्द्रियई. O grihastha man and woman, if you desire imperishable bliss and happiness here in this life, then constantly and assiduously discharge the duties of the householder, which cannot be discharged by those with weak organs. हाँ, अपना जो काम है करो ठीक से. ऋषाय पितरो देव भूतन यतीथ यस्तथा अशासते कुटुम्बिभियस्तेभ्यः कर्यं विजानता. Vijanata. The rishis, the masters of the Vedas, the mother, the father, and the grandparents, the devas, the animals, and the needy, and the unexpected guests, the atithi, expect donations from the grihastha. Therefore, he who knows his household responsibilities and duties must give to them their due. Okay, now a huge word. Entire page is written for just is used up for this one word. Okay, so it will take some time. Swadhyayane ध्याये okay स्वध्याये नर्चये दर्शिन होमैर देवन्यतथ विधि पितॄन् श्राद्धैश्च ऋणान्नैर्भूतनि बलिकर्मणा. He shall worship or perform his sacred duties, the yagyas, according to the rule and satisfy the sages by the study of the Vedas. The devas, they will satisfy by the performance of the homa. They will satisfy the parents by the service with faith, and they have to satisfy the guests by food, etc. And they have to satisfy animals by offering of food. Okay, here bali means food. Puriya daharaha. Okay, Puriya daharaha श्राद्ध मन्न द्येनो दकेन वा पन्यो मोलफलैर्भवपि पितृभ्य प्रीतिमवाहन. The grihastha man and woman shall daily perform shraddha for their parents with love and devotion by offering them food, water, edible roots, and milk and fruits. Okay, so shraddha is not supposed to be just after death. Even taking care of your parents before their death is also called shraddha. Interesting. Shraddha. Okay. Vaishva devasya siddhasya grihyegno vidhi purvakam abhiya purya devatabhyo brahmano homam na vaham. The brahmana, that is the dvija, shall daily do homa, that is offer oblations of rice cooked over the fire at the kitchen destined for Vaishva Deva Yagya, according to the rule, while meditating on the powers of God. Okay, very Rigvedic. Agne somasya chaivado tayoshchaiva samastayo vishvebhyashchaiva devebhyo dhanvantaraye evacha. This means that अच्छा इसका मीनिंग बाद में आएगा. इसका मीनिंग कहाँ गया? एक मिनट. ओके 2 श्लोकास, उसका मीनिंग एक साथ आएगा. ओके, तो एक श्लोका ये हो गया. नेक्स्ट श्लोका है कुवै चैवनुमत्याय चैवानुमत्याय च प्रजापताय एव च सहाद्यावापृथिव्योश्च तथा स्विष्टकृतेन्तता. This means that first to Agni, to Soma, and then to both together, further to all the devas, and to Dhanvantari, to Kuhu, to Anumati, to Prajapati, to the heaven and the earth, and finally to Shvitakrit Agni, the fire in which are offered these oblations. This is the order in which the oblations should be offered. Then Emam Samyagha Virhutva Sarvadikshu Pradakshinam Indrantakapatindubhya Tanugebhyo Balim Haret. After having thus duly offered oblations to the devas, he shall go round in circle and place bali or share of food in all the directions, starting from the east for Indra, Antaka, Appati, and Indu, and to their servants. Servants ko bhi. Okay. Marudbhiya iti tu dvari Shipedapsvadhya ityapi Vanaspatibhya ityevam Musa lolukhale haret. This means that okay, इसका मीनिंग कहाँ पे गया? इसका मीनिंग भी बाद में आएगा क्या? 60 ओके या एक साथ 63 4 बहुत सारे श्लोकास का एक साथ मीनिंग होने वाला है. सो लेट्स जस्ट गो ऑन रीडिंग. मुसा लोलुखले हरेत. नेक्स्ट श्लोका. उच्छीर्षके श्रियाई कुर्याद भद्रकाल्याय च पदातः ब्राह्मवस्तोष्पतिभ्यां तु वास्तु मध्ये बलिम हरेत. देन विश्वेभ्यश्चैव देवेभ्यो बलिमाकाशे उत्क्षिपेत. दिवाचरेभ्यो भूतेभ्यो नक्तां चरिभ्या एव च. देन पृष्ठवस्तुनि कुर्वीता बलिं सर्वतं भूताये पितृभ्यो बलिशेषं तु सर्वं दक्षिणातो हरेत. Okay, all these shlokas means that he shall place Bali near the following, saying adoration to the Maruts, and thus to Adbhya, to the Vanaspatis, to the pestle, and to the mortar, to Shri, to Bhadrakali, to Brahma, Vastoshpati, to all the Devas, to the animals that roam during the day, and to those that roam during the night. Place Bali at the back of the house, to all living beings, and place all what remains to the parents in the south direction of the house. Okay, and place all that remains to the parents in the south direction of the house. Okay, thora comments. Mominpur happened in the heart of Kolkata only, and also Bangladesh is living there. How much percentage of Bengal is still Hindu? I think 70% probably. 70% is Bengali Hindu. बंगाली हिंदू तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. जो हिंदू है वो भी बहुत वेरी रिलीजियसली हिंदू ही है. बंगाल का प्रॉब्लम है हिस्ट्री एडुकेशन इतना ख़राब है इसलिए, क्योंकि एथीस कहाँ पे? एथीस सिर्फ और सिर्फ कोलकाता में है और थोड़ा बहुत साउथ कोलकाता में है. रेस्ट ऑफ बंगाल इज़ वेरी हिंदू, लेकिन उन लोगों को लगता नहीं है कि हिंदुइज्म इज़ अंडर थ्रेट. उनका हिंदुइज्म है कि हिंदुइज्म माई रिलीजन टीचर्स मी लव अफेक्शन एंड वासुदेव कुटुंबकम. तो वो सब दिमाग में घुसा के रखा है. दैट इज़ द प्रॉब्लम. नहीं तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Okay guys, I'll have to go offline now. I'll try to come at 12. Probably not, but I'll see if I can. Feeling very sleepy. I haven't slept today. Slept yesterday, that is. So let's see. I'll finish the live stream here. और थोड़ा ही बाकी है. ये तृतीयोध्याय कितना बाकी है? ज़्यादा बाकी नहीं है. आज बहुत हो गया. Yeah, just 4 or 5 pages remaining. Maybe just for that remaining part of this third chapter. This I'll maybe finish at 12 or 12:15, sometime like that. I'll announce it beforehand. Let's see. Thanks a lot for joining time. We had real fun with reading the feminist Smriti. So remember to throw all these shlokas in their faces, okay? Arohan, Dada, 70% Bengalis are Hindu according to 2011 census data. Yeah. But remember, Sanjay Dixit keeps saying that Muslims always inflate their data. They always say that more than what they have actually, so that they get the political benefits. Harsh is saying, and I have heard most Hindus in Bengal are upper caste more than other states. I think OBC caste take Hindutva more seriously than you see in this. Yeah, because थोड़ा बहुत तो प्रिविलेज आ ही जाता है. प्रिविलेज में रहते हुए कोई किसी को लगता नहीं है कि कोई प्रॉब्लम है क्या ज़िंदगी पे. मेरा तो एक मुस्लिम दोस्त है, वो तो मुझे अच्छा ईद पे विश करता है, मैं उसको दिवाली पे विश करता हूँ. अच्छा, तो हमारा सब अच्छा चल रहा है. जो ग्राउंड लेवल पे रहते हैं उसी को ज़्यादा लगता है ना दिल पे. जैसे कि वेस्ट बंगाल का जो साउथ वेस्ट पार्ट है वो सबसे पहले सबसे ज़्यादा बीजेपी बन गया. क्यों? वो लोग बहुत हिस्टोरिकली बहुत प्राउड हिंदूज़ हैं. दैट हैज़ बीन द हार्ट ऑफ बंगाली हिंदू कल्चर. एसेंशियल बंगाली कल्चर इज़ बंगाली हिंदू कल्चर. साउथ कोलकाता तो ब्रिटिश के टाइम पे तैयार हुआ. उसके पहले वो एक रैंडम गांव था, नदी के पास है, सीधा कनेक्शन है, इसलिए यहाँ पे शहर बना दिया. अगर बंगाल कहाँ पे है वो देखा जाए तो वो है साउथ वेस्ट वेस्टर्न वेस्ट बंगाल. वो हार्डकोर बीजेपी बन गया। नॉर्थ बंगाल, जिसको ग्राउंड लेवल पे हर रोज दिखता है कि बांग्लादेशियों के साथ क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम है, पूरा जगह बांग्लादेश बन जा रहा है, वो लोग हार्डकोर बीजेपी बन गए हैं। तो इट शोज बंगाल हैज़ हाई ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन, वो प्रॉब्लम। हाँ, वो ट्राइबल आउटरीच तो बीजेपी का हो रहा है, देखते हैं क्या कहाँ पे जाता है। ओके गाइस, सी यू प्रोबेबली एट 12 और 12:30। हाँ, फेमिनिस्ट स्मृति गाइस, गुड नाइट, सी यू प्रोबेबली एट 12:30।